Hi and welcome back to this video. In this video, we'll be talking about version control, so let's get started. Okay, so let's quickly start off by what is it? Well, version control is basically some software that can make a snapshot of whatever has changed and save that. So you could, for example, if you wouldn't have version control, save files like v1, v2, v3. But version control is actually better in my opinion because it only saves whatever's changed, because what's the point of saving something that hasn't changed? And it also makes it very easy for you to see what has changed, at least if you use a front end. So if you want this, let's get into it. Okay, so our first step will be to download our version control front end named Sourcetree. So let's search up Sourcetree. Link should be in the description. So download Sourcetree free, and it will start downloading Sourcetree for you. Okay, so now just run that, and we can quickly close down our web browser. Okay, so now in this install, go to next, select wherever you want to install it. I'll install it on my E drive, and make sure it installs. And just click on finish. And for me it started up straight away, but for you it may pop up something asking you, do you want to install Git or Mercury? Just click on yes, I do. Okay, so now we've got our source tree here. We've got all these functions, so let's first open up Visual Studio. Okay, so in Visual Studio, let's create a new project. Make sure you are under Visual C++, Win32 console application, and let's name this Hangman, or Hangman game. Let's name it Hangman. Okay, next. And make sure you uncheck these two and check this one, and click on finish. Okay, so now I have a little challenge for you. You've seen me do this multiple times before, but I want you to create your main.cpp file and just fill in the basics with your IO stream and your main, you know. If you just go and try that now, I'll see you in a second. Okay, so this is how I did it. Right click on source files, add, new item. Now just name it main. And here type #include IO stream. Then here int main. And this is basically what was needed, or not like this, like if I can type int main. Okay, so let's quickly see, did this give us any bugs? And it worked. So let's add this to version control. So in your source tree, click on clone/new, create new repository, repository type git, destination path, let's select where we want to save this, or where it needs to get the files from. So it should be in our Visual Studio, projects, and Hangman. So select that folder, and let's make sure this repository is bookmarked, and just select Git in here. So click on create. Okay, so now we have all these files in here. I apparently have this one, which shouldn't be there. So let's see, we have all of these files in here, and let's just click on this to stage all of those files. And it's complaining that there are large files. Well, we don't need some files, so let's say we don't need this one, which we do not need. So right click on that and click on ignore. And let's say ignore exact file names. Let's also ignore this one. And I apparently had this one, which shouldn't be in here. So let's also ignore that one, this one, and we can ignore this one. And that is basically the easiest to ignore. So now stage all of these files by clicking on here. And let's name this first commit initial commit. Now click on this commit button here. So now if we head over to branches, you can see our initial commit has added all of these files. So let's say I would now type in std:/cout. What shall I call this? Test output. Let's quickly run this. And as you can see, we now have our test output. But what if this was all a mistake and I totally didn't want this? Well, then we can close our Visual Studio app. And we can click on this one and press checkout somewhere here. Yes, indeed, we can now click on checkout. But there's also a better way, in my opinion, of doing this. So head back over to your working copy, stage all these files, and let's call this commit to added, what did we add? Test print out. Now click on commit. And as you can see, this has now become our master. And now what we can also do is click on this one and reverse commit. Are you sure you want to create a new commit, reversing all the changes in the selected commit? Yes. And let's first see if this works. Then I'll talk why this is better. Let's open that up. And if we open up our main.cpp, as you can see, that line we added has gone. Okay, so if we'd head back over to Sourcetree, and let's say, why did we do this? Well, we could have just gone back to this one, but then we would have basically lost what we would have done here. What we're now doing is creating a new commit, which basically reverses whatever we've done in the commit we pressed reverse on. So the handy thing about this is that you've still got your whatever commit went wrong, and you've still got your reverted of that. So if you ever do decide that that code was handy, you at least have it. So yeah, I think this wraps this tutorial up. I hope you liked it. So yeah, like, share and subscribe.